man will not cast away his good name. You surely know that.
In what time and what place?
In a proper place where my beasts are bedded. On the last night of my joy, some 8 months past. She used to serve me in the house, sir. A man used to think God sleeps. But God sees everything. I know it now. I beg you, sir. I see her for what she is, and my wife, my dear good wife, took this girl soon after, sir, and put her on the high road, and being for what she is, a lump of vanity, sir. Excellency, forgive me, and she thinks to dance with me on my wife's grave. And well, she might, for I thought of her softly. God help me, I lusted, and there is a promise in such sweat, but it is a whore's vengeance, and you, I set myself entirely in your hands. I know you must see it now.
Do you deny every scrap and tittle of this?
If I must answer that, I will leave, and I will not come back again.
I have made a bell of honor. I have wrung the doom of my good name. You will believe me, Mr. Danforth. My wife is innocent, except she knew a whore when she saw one.
What look do you give me? I'll not have such looks.
You will remain where you are. Mr. Paris, go to the court and bring Goodwife Proctor out.
Your Honor, this is all.
Bring her out and tell her not one word of what's been spoken here, and let you knock before you enter. Now we shall touch the bottom of this swamp. Your wife, you say, is an honest woman.
In her life, sir, she has never lied. There are them that cannot sing and them that cannot weep. My wife cannot lie. I have paid her much to learn it, sir.
This scene demonstrates ethos because in Proctor's confession to the court, he attempts to raise his wife Elizabeth's credibility while destroying Abigail's. He explains that his dear good wife only put Abigail on the high road because she was nothing but a lump of vanity. Proctor admits to have lusted after Abigail at one point, which takes a toll on Abigail's reputation because it shows the court that Abigail has a clear motive to dance on his wife's grave with him, since she wanted Proctor to herself. He says that it's a whore's vengeance and continues to explain his wife's innocence in the process. He is very emotional and passionate. Emotional appeal is present in this scene when John Proctor takes breaks in his desperate plea for his wife's innocence to sob. You can tell by the determination in Proctor's speech to the court that John loves Elizabeth and would do anything to save her, even if that means confessing to lechery. Proctor also uses repetition to prove his wife's innocence by saying that there are them that cannot sing and them that cannot weep, but his wife cannot lie, which also boosts Elizabeth's credibility.
I cannot tell now, but I did. I heard the other girls screaming, and Your Honor, you seem to have believed them, and it were only sport in the beginning, but then the whole world cried, spirits, spirits, and I promise you, Mr. Danforth, I only thought I saw them, but I did not.
Surely your excellency is not taken by a simple lie.
Abigail, I bid you now search your heart and tell me this, and beware of it, child. And God, every soul is precious, and his vengeance is terrible. On them that take life without cause, it is possible, child, that the spirits have seen all of the illusion and only the deception that may cross your mind when...
Why, this is a base question, sir.
Child, I would have you consider it.
I have been hurt, Mr. Danforth. I have seen my blood running out. I have been near to murdered every day because I done my duty pointing out the devil's people, and this is my reward? To be mistrusted, denied, and questioned like a...
Child, I do not mistrust you.
Let you beware, Mr. Danforth, that you to be so mighty that the power of hell may not turn your wits. Beware of it.
This scene starts out with Mary Warren being questioned primarily by Danforth. When asked about seeing spirits, Mary realized she's been caught in a lie. The repetition of I in this scene demonstrates Mary's panic, paranoia, and fear, which also stirs up emotional appeal. The repetition in Mary's statement helped to show her emotions. Pathos reoccurs when Abigail starts talking about how she has seen her blood running out, how she's been near to murdered every day, and she's sick of being mistrusted, denied, and questioned. Both Mary and Abigail use emotional appeal in an attempt to appear more credible. It is one's word against the others, so whoever is seen as most credible will ultimately be believed. Using ethos, Mary defends herself by explaining that she had not seen spirits and promises that she only thought she had seen them. Abigail does the same by saying that she is doing nothing but good, by pointing out the devil's people, and she is the only being hurt. I cannot say he is an honest man. I know him little. But in all justice, sir, a claim so weighty cannot be argued by a farmer. In God's name, sir, stop here. Send him home and let him come again with a lawyer.
Now look you, Mr. Hale.
Excellency, I have signed 72 death warrants. I am minister of the Lord, and I dare not take a life without there be proof so immaculate no slightest qualm of conscience may doubt it.
Mr. Hale, you surely do not doubt my justice.
I have this morning signed away the soul of Rebecca Nurse, your honor. I'll not conceal it. My hand shakes yet with the wound. I pray you, sir, this argument let lawyers present to you.
Mr. Hale, believe me, for a man of such terrible learning, you are most bewildered. I hope you will forgive me. I have been 32 years at the bar, sir, and I should be confounded were I called upon to defend these people. Let you consider it now, and I bid you all do likewise in an ordinary crime. How does one defend the accused? One calls up witnesses to prove his innocence, but witchcraft is ipso facto, on its face and by its nature, an invisible crime, is it not? Therefore, who may possibly be witness to it? The witch and the victim, none other. Now, we cannot hope the witch will accuse herself, granted. Therefore, we must rely upon her victims, and they do testify. The children certainly do testify. As for witches, none will deny that we are most eager for all their confessions. Therefore, what is left for a lawyer to bring out? I think I have made my point. Have I not?
In this scene, Hale and Danforth go back and forth at debating whether or not Proctor should be allowed to go home and come back with a lawyer. Both men, Danforth especially, use logos to back up their claims. Danforth explains to Hale that in ordinary crime, witnesses are called upon to prove the person's innocence, but witchcraft is an invisible crime, so they must rely upon the witch's victims. Therefore, there isn't anything more for a lawyer to bring out. As well as logical appeal, ethos is also found throughout the scene. When Hale is doubting Danforth's justice, Danforth said that he has been a part of the court for 32 years to make himself appear more dependable and credible. Hale maintains his credibility by saying he is a minister of the Lord and wants to make sure that the things are being run fairly.
Mary, how?
I'll not hang with you. I love God. I love God.
He bid you do the devil's work?
My name, he want my name, I'll murder you, he says. If my wife hangs, we must overthrow the court, he says.
Mr. Hale!
He wake me every night, his eyes were like coals, and his fingers claw my neck. And I sign.
Your Excellency, this child's gone wild.
Mary, Mary!
No, I love God. I go your way no more. I love God. I bless God.
What are you? You are combined with Antichrist, are you not? I have seen your power. You will not deny it. What say you, minister?
Excellency!
I will have nothing from you, Mr. Hale. Will you confess yourself befouled with hell, or do you keep that black alliance yet? What say you?
I say God is dead. Ha! A fire is burning. I hear the boot of Lucifer, I see his filthy face, and it is my face, and yours, Danforth, for them that quailed to bring the men out of ignorance, and I have quailed as the quail now when you know it in all the black hearts that this fraud, God damns our kind especially, and we will burn together.
Marshal, take him and Corey with him to the jail.
I denounce these proceedings.
You are pulling down the heavens and you are raising up a whore.
I denounce these proceedings and I quit the court.
Mr. Hale! Mr. Hale!
In this scene, Mary Warren uses repetition of the phrase, "I love God," in an attempt to hire her credibility and prove herself not guilty. She repeats this phrase to prove she does not worship the devil and is no way associated with witchcraft. At the same time, Mary is trying to destroy Proctor's credibility by saying that he told her he'd murder her if his wife hangs and that they must overthrow the court. Using ethos, Mary continues to destroy Proctor's reputation, and Proctor attempts to save his own. He tells the court that this is all a fraud and denies all of Mary Warren's claims. This goes hand in hand with pathos because Proctor is extremely infuriated and passionate about his argument. He says that the court is pulling heaven down and raising up a whore, which also undermines Abigail's reputation. To help achieve pathos, John Proctor uses repetition of the word quail. For them that quail to bring men out of ignorance, as I have quailed, and as you quail, how when you know in all your black hearts that this be fraud.